In this video, I'll walk you through how to create a new feature class and start digitizing in ArcGIS Pro. Let's say we wanted to create a new feature class for buildings at Mesa College. You can see we already have our geodatabase set up. So to create a new feature class, I'll right-click and go to New, Feature Class. And this brings up the Create Feature Class menu. We'll give it a name. And here you can change the feature class type. We're going to do polygon since we're doing buildings and they have an area. Go to Next. On this next pane that pops up of the fields, this is where we can add in a new field. So right now, the only thing that would pop up in our attribute table would be object ID and shape if we started digitizing now. What I'd like to do is add a field that's building name, keep that as text, and we can also add in one that is a numeric value just to, to see how that works. So number of floors. So we can click where it says data type. You can see all the different data types. Right now I'm going to keep it at a short integer because none of the fields have decimal points. If I wanted decimal points, I'd probably choose float. Short integer, fewer numbers, so we'll stick with that one. And then we'll go ahead and click next. This is where we could change the coordinate system. So we could change it to one for California. We want California 6. Next, next, next. And these are all we leave at the default, and then we click finish. So now if we open our geodatabase, we see we have our new feature class, Mesa Buildings. If we wanted to start editing this feature class, we just drag it onto the map. You'll see that the base map changes projection slightly. But you also see that nothing's actually been added. Remember, all we did was create a feature class, create that placeholder for our data. We haven't started adding any data yet. Now we can begin our digitizing. To do that, we click on the Edit tab. And then we go ahead and can click on the Create. From the Create, we will set the target that we want to digitize. If we had more than one feature class in here, it'd give us more options. Oh good, my computer's having a moment. Since this is Polygon, it gives us all the polygon editing tools we could want. But right now, we're just going to stick with the plain polygon since we're just digitizing buildings and they have all different shapes. I'm going to zoom in on the I-400 building. So I've picked my task. I picked my target, the feature to be digitized. I picked my tool, just the regular polygon. Then to start drawing or tracing or digitizing this building, all I have to do is use the cursor that's now a little plus and click once to start my line segments and click again to create a vertex. So as I'm drawing this building, you'll see the most recent vertex will always be in red and that the other ones will be in green. So as I add a new vertex where the line changes directions, go away. You'll see the color of the vertex change. Now, if you'll notice, I have snapping enabled. So this is that tool that allows you to make sure you always are closing your polygon correctly, or making sure that your lines are intersecting. So since we're using it, every time we get close to our original vertex, it'll create these little words in blue and it'll change. You see the cursor changes, and if we double click, we'll end the polygon. At this point, since we double clicked and we had the snapping turned on, we know that this polygon is fully closed and there's no gap in the line. From here, we're just going to do the one building, so I can go ahead and click Save My Edits to save that polygon. And then I can click on the attributes and it'll bring up the attributes pane on the right. And I can change this to the building name if I wanted. I should look up how many floors it has. I think it has 4 or 5 or 6, so we'll just put 6. And then we'll go ahead and click apply. Then we have to save again. If you wanted to edit, another way to edit your attribute table is just by pulling up the attribute table. So I can click in here and, change, since I'm in an edit, in the edit pane, I have the editing going, I can change my numbers here, or my values here if I wanted to. So go ahead and nothing to save. Okay, so I can close my attribute table, clear my selection, and it looks like I don't have to save anything, so I'll just save my project. And you can see that I've started creating feature class, or creating building outlines, digitizing my building outlines in my Mesa Buildings feature class.